technical difficulties there. Hopefully everything is good. Let me check. I can't check right now. Oh, it shows it different on my screen. Alright guys, what's up? Let some guys come in. I know it was a little late. Sorry about that, guys. I was live on Instagram and then I had some technical difficulties here. So let's adjust this real quick. Oh, it's going to be crooked. Alright, so I'm trying out a new streaming service, a new setup. Hopefully everything looks good. See if I can hear myself. Can you guys hear me fine? Hey, what's up guys? I appreciate the happy birthdays. It was yesterday, so didn't want to completely skip the live stream, so we're here today. Alright, so you guys can hear me fine. Okay. Like I said, trying out new equipment here. Trying to be a little more professional with the stream. I don't know how to do any of this yet. So if you're new here, please drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed. Yeah. And if you can't stay, this also gets uploaded to my podcast. If you don't know, I have a podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Basically, the audio and everything that we talk about gets ripped, uploaded over there. And hope everybody's doing good. Been trying to take it easy this week. We have a lot of maintenance to catch up on. And I've done all my major repairs that have come up. We've had a lot of leak repairs this summer. And now it's all about catching up on maintenance. So if you guys have any suggestions or questions, please let me know. Like I said, I didn't want to skip the live stream. I already celebrated and everything, so I'm good. But I didn't really have a topic for today. So whatever you guys want to talk about, if you guys have any questions, we'll let some more people come in and stuff. And testing out this new format here. I don't know if I can edit anything. All right, whatever. I'll leave it alone. What's up, Ray? Handyman worker, HVAC boss. You were just on my Instagram live. What's up, man? So you came over. Party's already done. It was over the weekend. It was my birthday was yesterday, if you guys are wondering. And I had a good one. Just celebrated with the family. And here we are. Whatever comes up, we'll talk about. Giovanni, keep up the great work. You're growing. And content is educational. I don't consider myself a teacher. I don't ever want to claim that. I don't want to be like some of these other, big channels that are actually smart. So whatever I do, it's just what I encounter in the field, and I think that's pretty valuable. So if you guys, want real life scenarios, if you guys want to see decisions that I have to make, because not everything is like by the book, not everything is new units, picture perfect installs or anything like that. I have to deal with cheap customers, not having proper things available to me sometimes, and we make it work. So when I started, I was kind of worried about being called a hack and things like that, but then I quickly got encouraged because other people were happy that I showed the real stuff, right? So if you go on Instagram, people post their best work. I post whatever I come across. If you go to it now, I'm posting a lot of stuff that I see in the field that's just, I have a makeup air that's on the floor. It's still connected. And it's funny enough, it was a customer that we had about a year ago for a couple years. And we're replacing compressors. We're having to get a lot of their equipment going. And it was just a mess. Like whoever had left, and this always happens every time I take over. It's usually because they're shopping around, because like the previous company kind of left them in shambles. Like it's just everything's bypassed. Wires are disconnected. I've gone up to roofs where there's like 5 compressors laid out. There's a little graveyard there. And then I'm going to check the units, and new compressors are giving out. And it's like you're killing them because you're bypassing stuff. There's no safeties or anything like that. They have leaks that they never repair. One customer was telling me that they were going in like it was normal and charging for refrigerant every month, that they needed to be topped off. And we had a lot of stuff like that. And man, there was one that I'll always say, like, I should have started my channel like a year before, because that one like really kicked my ass. I learned a lot about myself, and I fixed basically everything right up until the pandemic happened, and then they just couldn't spend anything. One of their restaurants, because we took care of 2 of them, closed down, so they're still running one, which is the one that I had the most issues at. And yeah, that one was a mess. They're all Lennox units, so the wiring, it scared the crap out of me when I first looked into it. And yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I run into. Budgets, NTEs, like they don't want to spend over a certain amount. And it's true what they say, they get bonuses and stuff like that, so they're very stingy sometimes. Appreciate the birthday wishes, guys. Let's talk about why all the rooks don't like residential. Thanks, Mario. They don't? I don't know, because probably the old timers are all making them go in the attic by themselves. They got to pay their dues, right? Do a collab with another HVAC owner. If I do, I've been hit up for collabs. I don't know how to do them. Like, I don't know what you guys would want to see. Obviously, I don't live anywhere near anybody else. I am like way at the bottom of Texas, like the little tip at the bottom. But if I do, I might do it on their channels. So like, there's been a couple of guys that want me to come on, but they're basically like for this, like for live streams, or interviews or stuff like that. So we'll see. I've had a few come up to me about that. I know it's supposed to work with a couple of them, but we'll see. How's everybody's week going? I think I mentioned it. I'm just trying to catch up on maintenance. The summer was filled with leak repairs. Thankfully, they were all copper. I don't think I had... well, I had that one aluminum repair that me and HVAC boss were talking about over on Instagram. Pain in the ass. I didn't get to finish it. I just quoted them a new coil because it was like cracked almost. No, it's more than that. It's a few inches, a crack right by the discharge line. I will say that I saw somebody with the same issue, but there was a much smaller repair that they had to do. Because the issue that I was thinking about is that it's cracked right by the discharge line. You got copper going to aluminum. So you have that joint that you can't heat up too much. And I saw this guy use Air Surgeon, I think is his Instagram handle. he used the hot block, like the putty, to cover the joint and then do his aluminum repair over the crack. And he nailed it. So I thought that was cool. I'll keep that in mind, for next time. And yeah, we just got a lot of aluminum coils now. I have a train. I can't remember where it was, but I ran into a train that had aluminum condenser and evaporator. So there's a big radiator right dab in the middle. Hopefully we don't have any leaks with those. What's your approach on an apprentice that is paper smart? Like book smart? It's always good. If that's what you're talking about. Like, I went to school, so right after school, I felt like I knew a lot, which was just book smart. It helps you. It does help you. That's why I did like that I went to school. So, being book smart, you know the proper procedures. You know the good and the bad, and the right way, if you're going by the book. Now, when you get out there in the field, totally different story. You need to man up. So, I liked, like I said, I like going to school, and I liked learning that way. And when I went into the field, if I ever ran into an issue, I would recall a lot of the stuff that I learned in the book, and it helped me get through a lot. So going to school is one way. You don't have to, but it definitely helps. It's not a bad thing. Now, if they can't grasp in the field hands-on, then that's a different issue. I mean, it's completely different. Like, if you have the book smart and the hands-on nailed, then you're ready to go. You're good to go. And, it's everybody's different. I've been asked about the school thing. Maybe we'll make that a topic next week or soon. But it's always good to know the books. Like I said, that really did help me. If I ever got in a jam, I would just think about it and try and remember what I was taught, and then, things would click. But yeah, when you're in the field, sometimes stuff happens and you're just working under pressure, trying to figure things out. And you only get better with experience. Does anybody know why aluminum coils leak? Do you want to give a lesson, boss? There is a whole scientific thing. I might not be smart enough to explain it, but the whole metal thing. You can have the floor if you want. You want to explain it? How often do customers complain about the price of an invoice? It really depends. But yeah, they all do eventually. I don't deal with residential, so I don't deal with homeowners or anything like that. I am strictly commercial. But you can have the biggest nationwide chain, because we have several, and they cry the most. Sometimes the mom and pop local places are like, wow, like, that's a lot or whatever, but they're like, well, we need it, like a walk-in freezer, ice cream machine, ice machine, that stuff they need can't be down for like a couple days or anything, so they'll pay. The big ones will pay also, but the other ones are like, oh man, like, we just paid for this, we just paid for that. Well, like yeah, you got 20 stores, everything gives out at the same time sometimes, and they all complain. We have fast food chains that are like stingy. And who else do we have? We have pizza. The pizza places that I have are actually really good. Everybody has an NTE, a not to exceed. So sometimes on my videos, the guys are like, why didn't you do this or that? Why didn't you do it in one trip? In the end, it all comes out to the same price. Like if I go for 2 visits and I separate them, it's the same amount of hours, it's the same amount of work, it's the same parts that I'm using. They rather have 2 like $500 invoices than one that's $1,000 or more. I have to learn my way around that, and it's just by experience. Um, you know that they'll pay eventually, but there's different hurdles like the NTEs. Some of them worry about bonuses and different things. Like all that stuff is real. You just have to learn how to deal with customers, even though, like, that's why I don't do residential, because I don't want to deal with homeowners. But commercial is the same. You gotta deal with managers that want everything done, but owners that are like, wait, like how much is it, or that's a lot, or this or whatever. The owners are the stingy ones. The managers want everything new. Every time I go, that's like the famous joke that everybody tells, like, oh, just like the cooks or whatever. I'm there working on it, and they're like, oh, just tell them to get us a new one. That's like, I hear that the most. And I'm like, yeah, like, I mean, I could sell them. Like, I do deal with certain brands and stuff, but I'm like, I would be out of a job if I didn't fix it, Like, that's my main thing. The smart guy that gets the contracts, the work can get done. Yeah, I don't think people understand the other side. Like, and that's why, like, right now I don't do a lot of business videos, but I do because of Jobber. They sponsor that kind of content, so I am starting to do that stuff for the people that want to see it, because I know not everybody's a business owner or a contractor or anything. A lot of you guys are starting out, but it's good to know, right? So no matter how good you are fixing things, there's always the customer relationship. There's always the, like, you can't be rude to the customers. I mean, you can if you've had enough, but you can't be rude to them. You gotta kind of work with them sometimes, and then if you build that relationship, you'll get all the contracts you want. You'll get all the maintenance. Maintenance is a good thing to sell. So, you build that relationship. You deal with a lot of customers. Be friendly with them. And you got to know what you're doing on the other side. Not just, yeah, I can fix it. Well, can you get them, to do contracts? Can you get them to do maintenance? Can you have them trust you to keep calling you and make them, like, want to call you, Hold on, guys. Let me try something. All right. Train residential coils are known for factory solder joint leaks. Really? They're not the top of the line for residential? As far as residential around here, we do a lot of Goodman. Our supply house is a Goodman dealer, basically. They also had the Dakin for a while. The cheap stuff. So I don't think I've ever worked on a train residential, like a split system. We've seen Goodman, we've seen Dakin, and we've seen like the Ream and Root stuff, which I think I prefer. So do you guys do a lot of the joint repairs there? Thank you, Daisy. Happy birthday. Thank you. All right, HVAC boss came back in. 410 chemicals in the refrigerant, and due to the turbulence at higher pressure in the early aluminum coils, couldn't handle it. Well, hopefully they improved it, because, yeah, what it looks like, because it's not that they're leaking at the joints. I think I've come across 3. All 3 of them have been cracked. So there is an issue with the vibration, turbulence, whatever you want to call it, and they're kind of weak, you know. And then like pain in the ass to repair. Dirt mixed with aluminum impurities. Yeah, that'll do it. Impurities. Would wear the inside of a coil much faster than R22. R22 is like everybody's favorite child. Too bad we can't use that anymore. And a lot of people still have the old equipment. And I'll work on it. Like if we come across R22, I always let me see where I'm at in the chat. I always offer to repair things, so I don't like to sell. I could be a salesman if I wanted to. I guess, you know, we have dealers here that we work with. We have basically we have all the manufacturers here too, like Trane, Lennox, Dakin, everybody's here. So it's not hard to do, but I like to repair things. So I like to do, that's like the fun part of my job. I don't like to sell. I like to do repairs. So, I'll offer the repair. R22, I will try and convert it. So we'll do a conversion to 407C. Only because, well, I've tried a lot of drop-ins. I don't know what you guys have had luck with. We've tried the 427A. We've tried the New Shot. And then I keep thinking there was another one. Oh, the MO99. I hated that one. From what I've heard, that one was a compressor killer. I don't know if you guys agree with that. And the one place that had the graveyard of compressors on top managed to have MO99. So I don't know if that's what killed it, but that was an issue. Cali, we have a lot of trains. Deal with Bryant splits. I don't think I've seen one Bryant. Only pitch replacement if it makes sense. I'll pitch a repair unless the whole thing is falling apart. So, like I said, we converted to 407C. You just have to do the oil conversion if it's a really old compressor. And they do make, I know somebody asked me and I forgot, they do make a can, basically like a little can that you can use a piercing hose with, and it's supposed to make it compatible with the oil, mineral oil and stuff like that. So there's even that kit that you can use. I just use 407C because I do refrigeration more, and none of the other ones ever worked with walk-in coolers or anything like that. So once I tried 407C, a lot of the compressors have been changed out, POE oil already. So then we do 407C, and that one works for both AC and refrigeration pretty well. Have you ever had a discharge line cause your contactor to arch? I don't think so. That's a weird one. Okay, let's see. If I had to recommend, Gavin, if I had to recommend one Veto bag for service, what would you recommend? MB3B. The MB3B, is that the it's a hard bottom, right? Like, is that the laptop version? Because I have the MB3. The only reason I don't get some of those meter bags that have the hard bottom is because they are laptop bags or tablet bags or whatever, and I don't carry one. So I had the MB3 and the MB2. I loved them, but I outgrew them because I kept packing them in. And we have, what do you call it? The TP line. So like I have the TP-LC, but it's on the smaller side. A lot of guys like the TP-XL and the, what's the other one? TP-XXL. And I think they just made a TP-XD that has the swap out panels that you can just replace if you want a different setup. So I would recommend one of those. They do have the hard bottom. They're easy to open and get all your tools out. I've had a great time with them because I can just hang it somewhere because it has the hooks, and then open the bag up completely, and then everything's laid out pretty well. And then if you ever need to, just cover it, you close it up, and it has a zipper. I never use the zipper, but it's there if you need to enclose it completely. And I don't know, you can't go wrong with any of the Vito bags. Those are the popular ones. I wanted the smallest one, so I got the TP, man, what was it called? I got the TP, I don't know, the smallest one. Can't stop a train, but can't start one either. Train, like, they're good, but when they crash, they're pretty bad. I just did another one that had the whole blower wheel, like the little cage inside, just collapse and rust out. I've already seen that like 3 or 4 times now, all recent, and we got to get them that. And then we replaced the ones that have those like DC motors that you got to take out from the top. They're pretty easy to service, but when something major gives out, like, it's pretty major. New coil every time. If it's aluminum, so far I've been just recommending a new coil because what do they have? They're cracked, so I'm not too... I did one successfully, but it was a temporary one. I think it was going to start leaking already, like micro leaks. And that's because I wrapped it around. I did not have solder weld at the time. I will say that for some reason, I don't know what it is, but solder weld wraps a whole lot better. Like, it runs better. And it's like the first time I do the patch, it's fine. And before, with the other brands, I'd have to do it a couple times for it to stick. Yeah, man, the TPXL. The TP line is a really popular one, and it works great. I've seen more train replacements than Goodman. The Goodmans, I think they just leak. As far as residential, they leak in the evaporator a lot. Linux with a massive... No, I don't think I've seen that. The massive board on the condenser. Like the Prodigy units, I just ran into those recently. Appreciate all the birthday wishes, Edward. Thanks. Everybody who else, if I skipped you, I'm sorry, but I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Oh, and you learned a lot. Like I said, I don't claim to be like a teacher or anything. I just show what I run into in the field. I will try to be better about explaining things, but I mean, I don't know everything. Boss is just a rookie trying to get it. Appreciate it, Bugs. Are you hiring HVAC Boss? He has a whole army, dude. Like, he has like trucks and trucks on the street. When you see a walk-in cooler without a timer and you don't want to spend a lot, install a $7 timer and prevent callbacks. Yeah, I've seen those. Man, it just depends on the customer. One of my guys today, he has we have a customer that's a local one, and he knows them. They're like friends or whatever. So we kind of let him take care of them more than like we do. Like I don't go out there to that or those restaurants too much. It's something he can handle usually. He knows them well. And then if he ever needs help, I go out there. But the thing is, he had one today that they were upset that it kept going into defrost. Now, usually when I have that issue, when a customer tells me that they don't like the defrost times, I try to work around their restaurant schedule. So not during lunch, not in the morning. Or if it is in the morning, it's like before they open. But I'll see you later, HVAC Boss. Prep the crane. Man, you got everything over there. You got the crane. One day, I'll be like HVAC Boss. Anyway, what was I saying? I really need to start writing down all my notes. Okay, so he takes care of them and I help him when he needs it. Oh yeah, I try to work around the schedule of the restaurant. So if they're really stubborn and they don't want any times, we will put them overnight only. So he had one today and he told me about it and it was whatever. And they were upset about the times. So they specifically asked him to take out all the times on the defrost clock. Now on a walk-in cooler, I'm not going to say too much. If the customer's being stubborn, like I said, I'll try and put them overnight, if anything. But a lot of them don't like the defrost during the day. And if it's a walk-in cooler, I'm not going to worry about it too much. And what the hell? I'm not going to worry about it too much because if it's working properly and they don't leave the door open, which I've already had that discussion too with all the managers, you have to have that talk with them. You know, they love to leave the door open. They run fine and they're set properly and everything. They'll defrost during the off cycle. DC unit, you mean when they're running DC voltage on the motors, or? And appreciate the birthday wish. HVAC Boss with the HVAC Army. You got that right. All right, guys. I appreciate you all showing up. Like I said, I know I was late, and kind of didn't want to skip, so we can get into the flow. Like I said, as long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep doing the lives, and we'll talk about whatever. Or like today, we'll talk about whatever. Jose, damn, late. Am I late? Am I keeping you up late, or you're late? You're not too late, man. We're just doing an open discussion. I didn't really have anything written down for today. So we're just hanging out. Still got some people in here. Straight to the condenser. I'm from McAllen. I think people know McAllen, Texas. So South Texas, but like all the way down. Hey, Ruben. Thanks for the birthday wish. Is it late? I don't know. For me, it is 9:19. I try to do these like, well, they're kind of late. I try to start them around 8:30 every Tuesday, just because that's the time that I can do this, after dinner and everything. Appreciate the birthday wishes. But no, you're not. You're not late. We're still talking. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I got the TikTok stream also. I'm gonna try different platforms, and then I got the YouTube going on. I went on live on Instagram earlier. Had some guys in there. Appreciate the birthday wishes. We run AC all year. There might be like a couple weeks we don't. It's hot. It's over 100 degrees 90% of the time. We have that. Well, we had that freeze, right? We had that freeze. We don't have a lot of humidity issues. It's humid, but not like other places. Um, yeah, we had that one freeze that was like crazy, where it was like, well, for us it was crazy because it was like in the 20s. But other than that, that's it. Cold to us is like 50. So that's just the weather here in Texas. It's not, at least where I'm from, because in middle, like central Texas, they do get like winter pretty often. But here, it's always hot. Ruben, why are mini split liquid lines cool? I don't work on mini splits. I've only seen one, and I think we installed it, but I was like basically an apprentice at that time. Probably when they first made them. I'm assuming it might have something to do with the short. Oh no, mini splits. No, some people run them long. If anybody knows why, the answer to his question, would you go to AHR Expo next year? I think I am. I haven't registered or anything, but thinking about going. I went to the last one, but the last one, I also went to see some friends, so I enjoyed the expo. I was overwhelmed because it's a lot to walk around. So if I do go back, I need to be prepared. I don't know if you went last year or not, but it was great. We saw a lot. I went with my brother, and like I said, my friends were there for our bachelor party, so we were with them. Most of the time, I didn't get to see a lot of the HVAC guys, other than like running into them on the expo floor. But yeah, if I get to go again, I'll enjoy it a little bit better. Plan out how I'm going to do it better. Appreciate you. See you later, man. Maybe a smaller compressor. They have to have like the tiniest compressors. But like on reach-in equipment, compressors run hot, so I don't know. Any other expo coming soon? I'm trying to remember what the other one. There's another one that I want to go to. Uh, the symposium, I think, is what it's called. But I haven't looked into what dates, all that stuff is yet. So how is everybody's week going? I'm trying to take it easy this week. Just had little things like walk-in freezers that were down, like evaporator motors. Pain in the ass getting ECM motors right now, and they want like $500 to $700. Customers like, for that little motor? Yeah, OEM. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass to put the replacements, or at least to get them to fit. So we've had a lot of ECM motors going out lately. DM, happy birthday, man. Really appreciate it and love our videos. Appreciate the birthday wish, and thanks. Trying to put out as much as I can. And that's why I'm still posting, because people message me, and I really appreciate you guys. If you guys need to reach out, I have Instagram, where people DM me all the time. I have an email that's readily available. It's posted everywhere, and I keep posting because I get those messages that are like, "Oh, I learned from you," or which I still can't wrap my mind around, because I don't consider myself a teacher or anything. I basically started my channel on YouTube, at least, to show the crazy crap that I find and that I have to deal with. But yeah, once I started getting a lot of those messages, I was like, I need to take it a little serious. And I'm glad it helps. So guys like you have accelerated my knowledge and interest in the trade. That's great, man. I've had guys that tell me that they started school because they saw my channel. So I greatly appreciate it. I love all the support. And I'm just trying to show what it's like out there. Even if it's, not pretty. So, there's that. Giovanni, you're getting ready for heating season. I can't say the same thing, man. And I am greatly lacking, or at least, yeah, I think I am, the gas heating, like the troubleshooting and just the knowledge on that, because I don't see that. Everybody has electric, and those are kind of simple, but like I said, they might use them for like a few weeks at the most, and then they switch it back to cooling. So we don't really have a heating season. Everybody here just turns off their AC to keep warm. What is the deal with no carrier products? Like, you can't get carrier stuff, or like on as far as like my content or something? No, I deal with a lot of carrier. I don't know what you mean. Like getting stuff for them, or what are you talking about, Mario? And yeah, I appreciate everybody who joined the live today. Gonna try not to take up too much time today. And yeah, also if you guys have questions, obviously I can answer them. But if you guys have suggestions for topics, because we're doing this, or I'm gonna try and do it weekly, unless like nobody shows up, then we'll just cut it there. But if you guys have topics, like I have been asked about school. You know, last week we talked about tools. Wasn't too specific, so maybe next time I'll do something more specific. But yeah, like I said, maybe we'll talk about school and experience in another live stream. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know so I can keep this going. I will. Well, I'm learning as I go, right? I'll try to be more organized. Usually, the chat is where I focus on and I'm answering questions. So, there's that too. Do you think getting factory certified is worth it in your business? Well, what do you mean by factory certified? So I try to be certified, like with everything that we do. So if a manufacturer has training, anything like that, if they require, well, I don't know if they require. If we're doing warranty work, we do want to be, I guess, certified or whatever it is that they're called, what it's called. You know, by attending the classes, the trainings, and all that. It helps with warranty stuff. Being certified is just, you know, another way to get called as well. So if it's available and you can do it, it's usually a good option. The trainings are really good to go to. Like we go to a lot of the Manitowoc, Scotsman, all the ice machine related stuff, because that's what we deal with more, because we do refrigeration more than anything. So those are the trainings, the certifications I get. Now I'm not like crazy about certifications either. I am a licensed contractor. I am EPA certified. I am not NATE certified. Actually, I have my NATE books right here on the shelf behind me. I still have all my HVAC books from when I went to school, and I do have NATE certification books, but I never got my NATE certification. So it all depends on what you want. Some people like to rack them up to help them with pay. And I don't know. Some people like to have all the certifications. Let me just make sure we didn't miss anything. Oh, Ruben, did you go to public or private for school? So I'm going to assume you're talking about HVAC. I went to a community college that converted during the time to a full college. But it was just a local college. I don't really like those crash course. I guess they're called tech schools or whatever. We have a few of them here. I've had some people in I think in the last live tell me that they didn't learn anything because they go for like less than 6 months. But yeah, basically I was already in college, switched over my major because they offered an HVAC major, and got it that way. Did my 2-year program, and then got my experience, and then right away got my license. So I just wanted a contractor's license right away. I work with my dad, so he does not do HVAC. I feel like I always have to say that because some people think I'm not a real, I don't know how to say it. I'm not a real tech or something, but that my dad does everything. He does not do HVAC. So I'm a first generation. He does hot food. So what we consider hot food is like fryers, stoves, grills, anything that they cook with. And then I handle refrigeration and a little bit of the HVAC. So yeah, so I went to college, got that done, got my contractor's license right away, and had a hell of a time learning in the field, and like making a bunch of mistakes. So it happens when you start. If I make a mistake now, I am upset at myself, but more than likely you will see it on my YouTube, because I don't like to cut anything out. But yeah, guys, I think it's dwindling down. Might have to call it a night soon. Like I said, I appreciate anybody who showed up, watching the stream, just answering some questions tonight. Didn't really have a topic at hand. And like I said, you can reach me anywhere at Instagram, my email. Leave a comment on my YouTube videos, and we can either make it a video, make it a topic in a live stream, and go from there. Giovanni, see you, man. Thanks for stopping by, and thank you for that. Have you tried PSC motor instead of the ECM? Yeah, depends on the... Well, are you talking about AC, or... Because I was talking about refrigeration earlier. So like the evaporator motors, if I have to, I will switch them out. But I do prefer going OEM or talking with the customer first, at least. Yeah, the ECM motors, I don't know. Lately, they've been giving out a lot. I've replaced like 3 or 4 in the past week or two. They last longer. Yeah, I have some. Not every style. So if I happen to have a replacement motor that works, the same RPM, everything, we can change it out for that. If it's newer equipment, sometimes I give, like I said, the customer the option, and sometimes they just want to get the OEM, like the ECM. Do you prefer replacing the thermostat in the walk-in cooler with a straight replacement for what's there, or have you converted them over to a electric thermostat like the A421? I guess it depends. We don't really do a lot of conversions, but I carry both mechanical and digital. I haven't really gotten too much into the like programmable ones, like the ones that have the defrost times and all that. And now what we're dealing with is the Heatcraft, the Heatcraft IntelliGen, which is basically just a board that does everything, right? So usually the older equipment is on its last leg. We put mechanical if that's what works best, or I try to. If I have the room also, because these people like to, especially in a freezer, stack boxes all around, and I sometimes don't have a lot of clearance, and I just want to get in and out, so I'll put a mechanical back in. But if I have the room and I do the conversion to at least a digital, and I can run wires and all that, then I'll do it. I prefer at least to have a digital, just to keep the temp better, because mechanical, that's a whole calibration thing. Sometimes they get out of whack. I think I showed it in my last video that we had one that was set. I think they set it to over 40 to keep it in range. I had to set it to like 39, 40 just to make sure that it was cold enough, but not like freezing. But if you go in with a digital or one like you're talking about, the A421, it's digital. You can know exactly what it's at. And then a lot of those have the defrost built in, and you can do a lot with them. Ever work on old refrigeration stuff, possibly rebuilding a 1967 Coca-Cola machine? That's really cool. I haven't worked on anything that old from the 60s, but I run into a lot of R22 equipment, semi-hermetics that have been around forever, and we repair them if we can. Replace the insides, gut them out and everything. Like I said, I just have to do the conversion because we won't buy R22. So if it's an old one, like R22, 502, I've run into also. We just convert them and make sure we're using a newer refrigerant, because I'm not paying, I don't even know what it is anymore, like $1,000 a jug, and it's probably way more now. And I'll repair them if I run into them, or repair them, unless like it's leaking from everywhere, it needs a new compressor, this and that. Then I'll be like, hey, the bill's gonna run up. Let's think about replacing it, and then see what they want to do, because then it looks bad on you when you're repairing, and they think it's a callback, and you're like, no, it's something else. Like, it's falling apart. So if I fix this, then something else gives out. I've been there, so you just gotta make a judgment call. And like my first instinct is to repair, but if I evaluate it and it looks like it's going to be a callback for something else, or like repeated callbacks, then I'm like, you know what? We need to get you a whole new unit. So that's when I'll sell. Louis, you've been doing HVAC for 3 years. Any tips? So if you're an apprentice in the field, just pay attention. I'm assuming you're riding along with somebody, so like I tell everybody, just make sure you know what the tech is doing as far as like when you're doing repairs. Know what he's doing and why. So the more you understand the better, right? You just don't want to be like a parts changer, like, oh, like my motor's not starting, let me just replace it. When you could have checked, you know, capacitors, contactors, different things, and actually find the problem or why something gave out. So, motor or compressor gives out. Why did it give out? Was it bypassed pressure controls? Was it a dirty condenser? Is the voltage, is there an issue with the voltage? You know, things like that. It's R12. Customer has a 30-pound jug of it. Oh, dang. Oh, I have a, speaking of old cars, I have a 1962 Pontiac Catalina. And it run great. And the AC wasn't working, so I opted to upgrade it, and now it's running 134A. So it has a new compressor, and I had a mechanic do it, but it has a new compressor and it's running 134. So it makes it so much easier for me if I have to work on it. But yeah, 62 Pontiac. Currently have to work on it though, because the sun, when I had it, I was renting a place and I had it outside and the sun just ate it up. That's how bad the heat gets down here. Where am I? What brand of ice machine is your favorite? Oh, that's a hard one. I think I'm so used to Manitowoc that's what I feel comfortable with. So we deal with Manitowoc. Scotsman is like a finicky one, I guess, to me. And we just had one that came. I need to find a leak on it. We installed it not even a year ago. And when we installed it, it was a little low on charge. Not crazy, but recently it was low on charge again, and I need to look for that leak. But I'm most comfortable with Manitowoc. Basically any model that they have. We've seen a lot of the models. I still work on a lot of the older stuff. All the new digital stuff, all the boards that they have, like, pretty comfortable working on those. I don't know. Ice machines are one of those things that are like intimidating sometimes, or if you're not familiar with them, but it's all about like everything's about the refrigeration cycle, and ice machines, you just have to take into consideration the water supply, basically. Ruben, have you heard about the 410 discontinuation? Yes, they're phasing out 410 and 404, and I don't like it. Not too long ago, I was replacing or swapping out everything for 404 as far as like refrigeration. And then like right after, they're like, hey, we're phasing out 404, and I'm like, crap. So like now 410 is going to be on the way out. I have not looked into it because I do more, like I said, refrigeration. So I don't know what the next step is after 410. I'm not sure if you guys know. I don't know what replaces 410 when we're going to start like actually phasing it out. Oh, 454. I'll have to look into that because I think, yeah, we only deal with 410 now. So, you know, once that's phased out, we're going to have to figure it out. And I haven't made a choice on my 404 replacement because I can still get that. So we're still dealing with that. No one has it. Well, I'll look into it, I guess. I'd rather be prepared. Usually I talk to the guys at the supply house, and they'll give me a heads up on what's going out. I guess I'm not like super up to times with that kind of stuff. I do get like emails and different things for that from the state, but I usually talk to my supply house. They give me a heads up on what's being phased out. They are really good about buying up supply for whatever's like selling, like whatever's in. So they're not going to run out anytime soon, but I know that they're not supposed to be selling that stuff or soon. Mr. Pina, I passed my exam. EPA, Universal. That's great, buddy. That's the one I have too, the EPA. Very important to have. I know down here, sometimes it's not even important. It's like, who do you know? I hate that. But I'm glad that you got it. And the 454B. I'll have to look into that. Gary, Adrian, I see it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. Just wondering how many jobs would you during a day on average? I am not racing through my calls. I take my time. So sometimes I work late, but I don't know, like over on residential, I know guys, or they claim to run a ridiculous number. Too bad HVAC boss is not in here. I know those guys run like crazy. But yeah, on average, I would say 4 to 5 on a good day. Now, take into consideration that we service what's called the valley down here. So sometimes I could have a whole day with just 2 calls. And they won't even be hard calls. It's just that I got to drive 2 hours one way and then 2 hours back. And then we service 2 hours the other way too. So on a really bad day, if those 2 are calling, I got 2 hours that way, then 4 hours to get to the next one, and then 2 hours to get back home. I'm done. So I travel a lot. So I like half my day is also just driving. So my call list for the day is not going to be super high, but I also just prefer to do it right and stay a little late. Like if I'm out of town especially, I'll try and wash the coil, replace whatever went out, do a quick system check, and then wait, like on a cooler or freezer, wait for it to reach temp and make sure that it's good. Maybe run a couple cycles or whatever, and then take off. That way they don't call me back in the middle of the night or the next day, to go back. Jonathan, 449. Yeah, there was a couple of replacements, and I wasn't sure which one was better yet, so I'll take your recommendation on that. Just hire 4 workers from Home Depot. Yeah. That'll help. Some of the work that I see done here, man, it's like it is the guys from Home Depot, some guys from outside of Home Depot doing it. Oh, I didn't even see your R22 at Johnston is $1,600. Holy cow, dude. Yeah, I'm not paying that. And my customer won't pay it either, so. All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else, streaming on TikTok too, going through those comments. If you guys are on TikTok, Instagram, anything like that, you can find me on there too. Trying to post more often on all of them. I think I'm caught up. Jonathan, rack system with a leak. 300 pounds of R22. Yeah, so for you guys to do like supermarket, I know that R22 is like really important to you guys. Damn. I don't know how y'all deal with that. Those leaks. I did have because we yeah, the liquid gold. I do have, like I said, customers that are like out there. So like the 2 hours in the east is gonna be by the coast. So I'm less than 2 hours away from the coast. Like we have a beach close by. So the closer you get, you have to take into consideration the salt water, the seawater, whatever, corrosion and all that. So I didn't get to go. I would have loved to have gotten this call, but one of my guys went out there, and then I saw the invoice because on Jobber I can check on my guys, and he had an invoice, and he was recommending all new ACs, and I was like, why are you recommending so many things? And then I got to talk to him, and the floors of the compressor compartment are rusted out. You can see through them. There's holes. And he said that I think it's going down to the curb adapter to where the water's leaking inside. And he kind of, I mean, we can't condemn everything. It's okay for now, but he had to recommend everything. And we're not going to touch anything as far as repairs. Because we don't want everything to fall in the building. So that I was talking to him today about it because I think he went out there yesterday. I didn't get to go to that one, but everything is rusted. Everything out there you need to coat. You got to use a clear coat of some sort to make sure that you don't have that corrosion. But those are really bad. He even said that the walk-in coolers and freezers were getting holes in the bottom of them. So as far as everything on the roof, the rooftop condensers. So that's going to be a crazy one. I think we're going to have to end up going out there and replacing each unit one by one, and then fixing whatever we can with the roof, curb adapters and all that. I have worked on a mini rack system. So I had we don't do them anymore, but I had one that was, what the hell? Hold on, guys. All right. It was a mini rack. So it was like 6 compressors and or 3 on top, 3 on the bottom, and they couldn't find a leak. That's the one that I had said that they were trying to get away with charging them for refrigerant every month and just acting like it was a normal thing. And then, we go out there, we get the call. Almost all of them were leaking from the pressure controls. I guess they couldn't find it, so I had to replace all the pressure controls. Some of them had bad filter dryers and things, so just took my time, went one by one, and took care of them. Too bad we don't do them anymore because that's an interesting roof. A lot of Lennox, a lot of weird things that they did. But, that was part of the whole pandemic. They kind of closed down that whole time. All right, guys. So I appreciate you all for joining. Everybody on TikTok too. Let me end that one actually. Simple Ride Overdrive. Thanks for the birthday wish. Appreciate it. Everybody that joined, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, even though we kind of Didn't have anything to talk about. At least I didn't have anything written down today. I will have a topic for next week. Join me every Tuesday. Like I said, as long as people show up. Like right now, we still have people in the chat. Still have people watching. As long as you guys show up, I'll keep doing these. And if it helps anybody, that's great. So I'm going to end it. And see you guys. Oh, crap.